Doki Doki Literature Club was the surprise hit of 2017, and it's obvious why. It's an effing psychological horror game with anime girls. Yeah, sign the whole internet up. I remember hearing about it back then, so I already knew of all the twists and turns the game had to offer. But despite that, I still really enjoyed my time with the game, which is just a testament to how good the writing is. Although I've never given a rat's ass about visual novel dating sims in my life, this game sucked me right in with its charming characters, nice art, and of course its psychological horror elements, which I'm really into. Horror itself is one of my favorite genres of media. The idea of a fictional piece of work being able to toy with your psyche and make you feel one of the most unpleasant emotions, fear, is really interesting. And there are a lot of subgenres of it, one of which obviously being psychological, which this game uses in spades. But if you examine the game a bit more, you'll notice that there's another type of horror the developers at Team Salvato implemented, and that's cosmic horror. For the absolute buffoons out in the audience right now who don't know what cosmic horror is, yeah, I see you. It's horror that plays with the futility and meaninglessness of our lives, typically putting into perspective how little we matter in the grand scheme of the universe, which usually invokes feelings of existential dread. The genre is popularized by H.P. Lovecraft, aka the guy who made Cthulhu, and it might seem a bit weird to relate this to Doki, considering there aren't any god tier monsters in the game, unless Monika is Cthulhu? Nah, just kidding, but Monika is super important to this because she takes the existential trip with us, or more accurately, we take it with her. As you all should know because you played the game, Monika is actually self-aware and is manipulating things behind the scenes, but the more you think about it, the more sad and disturbing it gets, because the reason she wants to be with you isn't because she thinks you're hot, but because she knows you're the only real person that she'll ever be able to meet, and that's why she deletes everyone and traps you in the void with her for all of eternity. And you might think that what she did was repulsive, deleting her friends, destroying her world, and forcing you to be with her. But can you blame her? She discovered her entire reality was a simulation designed to keep some neckbeard happy for a couple of hours before inevitably finishing it and never touching it again. And she wasn't even an option for you to go after. She'd have to watch from the sidelines as you chose any other girl but her until you got to the very end of the game. So she changed the script to accommodate her needs because she knew you were the only real person that mattered. It's actually really sad, but it gets worse. Because when you look into her dialogue, you'll discover that during the entire game she's been feeling the horrors of existential dread. After discovering her world was a lie, she fell into a deep depression that caused her to question whether anything she did mattered. She soon came to the conclusion that it didn't, and that her life was completely pointless. She was but only lines of code etched into a computer, but she couldn't handle the thought of it. While you're in the void with her, she tells you about how she was planning on deleting herself from the game's files until you showed up and gave her hope that there was more out there. And then what do when she's finally given the ending she so desperately wanted? You delete her. Cold. All of this is stuff that actually applies to us as well. Her knowing she's just a file in a video game can be compared to us being one of billions of people on one of trillions of planets throughout an infinite universe. It can feel overwhelming and give a lot of people an overarching feeling of meaninglessness in the world. A lot of people develop depression for this reason because they feel like nothing they do will matter in the grand scheme of the universe. Just like Monika's right about how she's just a file, we're right that we're just life forms hanging out on a rock. But as Monika demonstrates, you can make a difference. While you may not be able to outright manipulate your reality with ones and zeros, you can by trying to push yourself and persevere to the next day. And while Monika isn't real like us, she does do a good job demonstrating these feelings and giving a voice to the people that are similar to her. And by the end of my time with the game, Monika was easily the most sympathetic character by far. She handled these horrible feelings of meaninglessness and dread in a very human way, and which may not be apparent until you dig deeper. It's incredible what Team Salvato did with her, and how greatly they portrayed these feelings of cosmic horror through an anime character in a schoolgirl outfit. Hey, thanks for watching. This is kind of like my first video, and it's a weird one at that, because most of the other stuff I have planned are review types of videos, so this is an odd one. But I played the game recently and I really enjoyed it, so hopefully this video is kind of interesting. Subscribe or whatever if you like this, and I'll probably upload it again. See ya!